Alright, this is just a quick tutorial on how to hook up an HID conversion kit. This is the SDX 9006 bulbs. These are pretty easy plug and play type HID kit, real easy and simple to hook up. However, I had these installed and I removed them. I'll tell you the reasons why at the end of the video. Anyway, what you're going to have in the box here is you're going to have your manual, of course. You're going to have two brackets, two bulbs, and two ballasts. So let's get into it, show you how to hook this up. Alright, so the first thing I'd recommend you do is take out your old bulb, pop the hood, whatever side you want to start on, half turn, counterclockwise, get that guy out of there, and then I would take this out and I'd put this in first, so it's out of the way, put it in there, half turn clockwise, lock it in, that way it's a little bit easier to work with. Connect this thing first. A lot of people try to connect all the wires up together first and then plug this in, and then it's a lot more to handle because you have all this stuff to work with here. So it's best just to plug this in first, get it out the way. Also, be very careful not to touch the actual bulb. Use gloves if you need to. That way, because your grease on your hand, your oil will damage the bulb and it won't last very long. Okay, so on the actual bulb, you're going to have four connectors. You're going to have one like this. It's basically male and female. And you're going to have two smaller versions of them, and same thing, male and female. So on the ballast, you're going to have the same thing, two smaller connectors, male and female, and then you're going to have a single male here. So start connecting these guys after you have the bulb in. Don't force these things. Take your time. Don't rush through it. It's a lot of people rush through it and they break things. So first thing to do is just find the smaller connectors. This clip right here on the male end will click on the top of the female end right here. So look for this little triangle and then just click it in there. There it snap. Same thing on the opposite side. And okay, so now you're going to take the male end from the bulb and then plug it into the female end on the, you're going to take the male end from the ballast and plug it into the female end on the bulb. So same thing, look for the tab right here. See, there's not a tab on this side, there's one on here. So you want to take this, click it in there. Now you're going to left with one male end right here. As you can see, it's got one of those triangle hubs on both sides. This goes into your stock wiring harness from your bulb that you removed. The best way to do this, a lot of people will plug it in wrong and then they turn it on and it doesn't work, and they'll unplug it and then switch it because they don't know which side it goes to because it has a little triangle hub on both sides. What I recommend you do is to look at your wire harness from your car first and match up the wire coloring. Now, a lot of people don't have black and red. You're either going to have one or the other. I know under my car, the 2010 Dodge Charger, it didn't have either or. Well, one rule of thumb you got to remember is the red is hot, so it's positive. The under most cars like mine, it has a white one. So white's hot, red's hot. Black and brown, or usually black with a green stripe, is always the negative. So just remember that. Usually you'll have one of each. So if you have black, line up the right cable with the black one and click it in there on one of these hubs. Like I said, a lot of people say they plug it in. If it don't work, they unplug it and switch it. It's up to you. You can do that at your own risk. I don't think anything wrong would happen, although I've never done that before. So that's pretty much it. Everything's connected. Connect your bracket and find somewhere to mount this. Like I said, this ballast is going to be in the way, and you don't want it dangling around and falling, probably getting disconnected. So the best thing to do is connect your bracket and find somewhere under your car to mount this thing. You might have to drill a hole, you might have to find a screw and washers and bolts and get creative. I know under my car there was 2 fender screws that only can put one on each side, and I have the brights and the low beams, so I had to find 2 more spots for these ballasts. And you know, I had to find a big screw. You have to be open-minded, think outside the box, and get creative. And I grabbed a screw, grabbed a washer, grabbed a lock nut, and then screwed it in there. It doesn't have to be crazy super tight. Just make sure it's tight enough to where it doesn't move very much, and it's sturdy to where, you know, as you hit bumps and stuff, it doesn't fall apart. Overall, this is a good kit. It's real easy. It's to set up. It's plug and play. The only thing I don't like about it, and you can decide that on your own, this guy right here doesn't work for my car, and it doesn't work for a lot of Dodge vehicles. The ballast tends to go out, or the bulb tends to go out, or the light just goes out and the equipment's still good. It's just that it's not getting enough electricity to it. And in my particular case, I need a relay. So the relay that I would get would connect in between the bulb and the ballast here, and it just connects and grounds to my battery, and it has a fuse on it, so the electricity just gets generated properly and evenly, so you don't get any flickering or any bulbs going in and out. Like I said, I have the brights and the low beams, and they both went out, and I thought the bulbs were dead. The next day they came on. They'll go off during when I'm driving, and it's just a real pain. And the best thing I can tell you to do is do personal research on your own and save your trouble. Don't make the mistake I did. You know, if you need a relay, contact the seller. I know on Amazon, where I purchased these from, and I got a pretty good price on them. In the description, it didn't say that you possibly may need a relay. It just says simple, easy setup, plug and play. However, I did need one, and the only way I found that out is by contacting the seller. You know, they were very helpful, and it was working properly for a little bit and then just went out. But you may need a relay, and the best thing to do is just do personal research. Get on some forums, get online, do yourself a favor. I have to return these because they're not what I want, and I can find another kit with a relay built in for the same price I paid for this. So just do yourself a favor and get out there, do some research, so you don't have to waste your time in returning these things and putting your stock bulbs back in so you can actually drive at night. The other thing is, these manufacturers, they will not pay for the return. You have to pay for the return. So you're out, I'm not sure, it depends on your state and how much shipping is, but you know, in this particular case, it's going to be about $10 for me to send, $10 each to send both of these back. So, you know, you're out $20 there already. So, you know, do yourself a favor, do some research, find out what kind of bulbs you have, ask the seller online or wherever you buy it from if you may need a relay, or do some research on your own and see if you may need that, because it'll cost you in the long run if you don't. It may not, but you know, just be aware. As far as the relay goes, if you guys are out there and you have a 2010 Dodge Charger and you want to see where I mounted these things, or you possibly want to see how I hooked up the relay, just leave me a comment down there. Let me know, and I'll make a video when I get my new lights in, how to connect the relay properly and mount them, where I chose to mount those ballasts. So anyway, have a good day. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you get educated and your lights look good.